Go out.
It's not too deep as the ocean goes deep.
I'm talking about my son's life. And I'm talking about the lives of other black kids. Do what the hell you want to do. Go ahead. But you can't silence me. But you are not going to silence me.
We know that the government is running.
Prove it guilty! Due process!
Due process for due process! Due process for
wellness check!
Hey everybody, I'm your host Texas Black Diamond, and thank you for tuning in to Texas Black Diamond ENT.
What's up, everybody? Just popping in. Ride with me, you guys. Ride with me. Like I said, I'm on my way to my doctor. More lab, and I'm getting a mammogram. Y'all women, make sure y'all get a mammogram. You know that breast cancer is no joke. I gotta go let them squeeze down on these nubs of mine, honey. I ain't got no breasts, and it hurts even worse when they push it down on my little no titties. I go through that, but anywho, hey, Lottie Dottie, how you doing? Long time, Lottie. I'm driving, you guys, so I'm trying to speak to people as I stop at a stop sign or something. But yeah, howdy. Welcome to the channel. I want to proudly say that yes, I am a supporter of Robert Sylvester Kelly for many reasons. For our males and our females. So I'm supporting him on a personal something personal too. Which I'm not going to talk about because it's nobody else's business. But I'm supporting him, and I see so many different, factors in this and screwed up things. We're in the United States, and we deserve due process. We deserve to hear our side of the story without letting all these different people come in, using the mainstream media, using all these different platforms to persuade 12 people that's supposed to be part of this legal system to help judge in the correct way. And I have 2 boys and I have 2 girls, and I try to instill in them the right things. But when they move on to their path and do whatever they want to do, then that's on them. I have taught them. I'm not going to teach my daughters to use their money makers, use their vaginas, and things like that. I'm not going to get on get a text message, get a man's number, and pretend that I'm my daughter, and say that she's 18, and talking for her, giving this grown man that lady talk, and getting everything prepped up to introduce my child to a person. And so I'm going looking at the transcripts, going through the motion, and I'm just getting like key pointers from these motions, and I'm adding them on pictures, and I'm like doing it like that, and I'm trying to pass it around. And as I read the text messages again, I'm like, are y'all serious? As I look at Deronda Pace test the line as on at the 2008 trial, and then she goes to this New York trial, I'm just like, something's just not really adding up. And so I just feel like, my opinion, I just feel like they've been after Robert and going after him for a very long time. And I'll just say this, starting in Jim Daragatis days. I feel that, because Jim Daragatis, he's all over the place. He is just like he's sniffing out people just so he can see who he can talk to. And if we can get it in the public ear about Deronda Pace and about the he say she say in the rumors that's going on in Chicago, how easy it is to just get funds from Robert Sylvester Kelly without his knowledge. He knew about some, but he didn't know about them all. And you have Deronda Johnson Pace in the courtroom, inside of the courtroom, with a fake ID, and she made sure she showed her face. So you're sitting there and you're listening to all of this. You're listening about the lawsuits and everything like that. So I just have questions, because Deronda Johnson Pace gave Bubba $4,000. So did Bubba tell her how easy it was and pointed her to the right direction to get a lawsuit? Did she pay him $4,000 to let her in Robert's home? Did he invite her in that home to the party? It's just questions. I mean, you have to. These are questions like that's in my head, and I just I'm trying to just put them together. I'm trying to just figure it out. Because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the foolery, the blackmail, the entrapments and things. And so I'm sitting back and I'm like, I'm looking at Dominique and Arline, Richard Arline worked at McDonald's together. And like Tim Savage, because somebody sent me the link, and I watched as much as I could, y'all. I'm just trying to work with myself, and I easily get upset, and I'm trying to work with that. But I watched a little bit of that, so I'm gonna talk about that as well. But I'm just trying to figure this out. And I had an argument like with someone about the situation, and they was like, yeah, well, we let it go with Aaliyah and everything like that, and I didn't see too much evidence on that. I agree with you. I feel like they did it to try to launch her career and things like that, and they constantly push. Y'all, that's my dang on doctor. I need to talk to her. Sorry, I was speaking to my doctor. I don't know where did I leave off at, you guys, because I swear it's so much. Um, yeah, Aaliyah. It was like, it's not too much into that to me. He said because I followed that, and he was like, I felt like they did it to launch her career. He said, but the more I look into this situation, I feel like that Barry Hankerson and all others had something to do with it as well to try to set it up. And he said Barry Hankerson, out of all years, and he claimed to be this gangster. Why he wait until his trial come up in the date of his trial to try to launch her album, Aaliyah's album? He said, in which it didn't do good. And I said, yeah, when you try to plant a seed into rotten soil, it's not going to grow anyway. I said, she was a lovely young lady. I said I would have supported her being alive. I said, but it doesn't benefit her because she's no longer here. So I'm not gonna support, this dirty snake Barry Hankerson, and no one else that's dirty. But we talked about the trial, and I was telling him about the IDs, and I was showing him, the motions and the transcripts and stuff. And I was like really, really hard down. We was like hard down. He's like, well, he should have learned from that, and stuff. I said, okay. I said, so make this make sense to me. I said, just say, for instance, it's you, right? You just d- dodged the bullet. Uh, Eight, how many was it? Six, what, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 years. You died 7 years. You beat a case that you was fighting for 7 years. And so you make sure everybody is straight and legal that comes into your home, and you're gonna you're gonna be with a legal age female, right? You're not gonna look for no underage. You just dodged the bullet. So you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure that it's legal age. Okay? So you have Geronda Pace. I told him, I said, you have Geronda Pace invited by Bubba. I showed him who Bubba was. I pulled up Instagram. I said, this is supposed to be one of his homeboys. I said, at first, they all was hooray for him, and they was for him. And the longer this case was going, the more you seen his people bag away. And the more people started coming out like popcorn poppers so they can get their piece of the pie. This is what you see. And I'm like, so you have a woman that you've seen at the courthouse all over the place. She made sure when you came out that she was walking beside you. She was the last person to leave out the courtroom before you left out the courtroom, so she can see, you can see her face and be familiar with her face. You find your bus. I said, she finds your bus. She come to your bus, ask for your autograph, say, I'll support you. I'm just there. Just because you dodge a bullet doesn't mean you shoot yourself. They set the man up. Well, what I'm saying here, and I was talking to someone else. When I was talking to the guy about the situation, because they did try to do everything in their power to get him convicted. So he won that case. He was found innocent. And so if we're saying that we supposed to trust in the system, we're not trusting in the system with him being acquitted of all charges. So when I say that, that's what I mean. So don't take that out of you know, proportion. But I was talking to the guy and using him as an example. I wasn't I was using the guy that I was speaking with. And I said, well, I said, so you're gonna make sure everybody check everybody ID. You're gonna screen everybody. You're gonna get a copy of their IDs to make sure if something goes down, you're gonna have documentation showing that you showed the ID. Why would this man, after going through all this, invite a 16-year-old in his house to have sex with her? And his wife was living there. And his kids was there. So, you know, it just has to make sense to me. And it does not. And, you know, it's just like the police stop you, right? You driving fast. And the police stops you and give you a warning. You better stop speeding. So you driving, so you're like, dang, I want to drive fast, but I'm gonna drive the speed limit because I can't afford no ticket and I don't need no another police stopping me. So you're gonna drive the speed limit. Okay. So after all of this, and you got Jim Dare Greasy constantly going after him. He already know people is watching him. He already know this. Hey Curtis, how you doing? And everybody that stepped in. So you already know people are watching you. So all eyes on Robert Sylvester Kelly. Who finally, you know, people forgave him. And so that's what I'm saying. Why is all this uproar after you guys forgave him? You guys invited him to shows. He did songs with people. He even did the remix with Sierra. And I like that. I like that song. They made the song sound even better. So he was getting awards, winning awards and stuff. And that doesn't mean because he's a famous person and he felt like he got more power than anyone and he felt like he can rule people because of his money. You can't put him in that category because Robert hung around ordinary people. He hung around ordinary people. He wasn't a stuck up kind of person. He engaged with the fans and things like that. So he wasn't this person that was looking like he had power of money. He tried to stay as humble and real as he can be. And to me, I wish he would have acted like a snobby, um, stuck up celebrity, and and so we talked about that, and I was showing him all the different things, and I let him listen to Kiona, speak, and I was letting him see all this stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, when I got through with brother, he is persuaded. Okay, he said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me this girl's he called her the B word? I'm like, I ain't say nothing. I'm just looking. He called her a B word. So you mean to tell me that this woman got this man's number, text him, had him all hot and bothered? We don't know what she was telling him in them text messages. And who I'm talking about is Alice Clary. Cause for her to say this man just want a FUCK. What did you tell him in them text messages for him to just want a FUCK if you saying that you trying to tell him about music? So they did their research. They claimed that they didn't know Robert. And as Angelo on Choke No Joke said that she didn't like Azrael didn't like his music. She hate doing his music, but she did it anyway because of something. But The mother said on the interview that she did not even know Robert. After the concert, she looked him up. She looked him up. Okay, so there's two different parents telling two different stories here. Lies all over the place. I feel like she sent. I feel like Angelo's wife, Alice. This is my opinion. She enticed him. I believe she probably was playing with her on her coochie, um, and sending him naked pictures and getting him hot and bothered, so they could set him up. So I feel like she came at him. You know what I mean? To say I want to have sex with you. Yeah, she said Azriel did the research. Okay, first the daddy. So why would she do research on him if she already knew about him and she was doing his songs and didn't like him? Then he lied and saying I he don't deal with R. Kelly. He didn't like R. Kelly music, and the wife, was saying, "Oh, it was just a concert." But you forgot when you with the Savages that you said that you went to that concert because you was a R. Kelly fan, and your wife said that you was a R. Kelly fan. Then y'all changed that shit around, and they gotta remember, like we ain't deleted no videos of y'all talking. Cause I like to go back and compare. And then y'all talking about a number. And so what makes me wonder about some things, Angelo said that he wasn't up there with his wife and his daughter. Like, why you wasn't up there? If y'all came there as a group, why the hell you wasn't up there in the front? So what did your wife do to get the attention of these people while Robert was performing? Or did they all have it planned? Did Cheryl Mack have it planned? Who had him planned? Did London on the track? Did she have it planned because she was mad at Robert? Because I find it funny when you're fired, when you're laid off and you're fired, you have so much bad things to say, but you constantly go back because you need a damn job. Nobody else want to hire you. You ain't worth shit. And so nobody else hired you, but you go back because y'all already knew y'all had a plan. Y'all knew y'all can steal money out the petty cash and do backdoor deals using this man's name, get your houses and your business launch up under this man's name and social security number. That's why you kept running back. So I when I talked to the man is like, I think he's like 47 because I asked him his age. And I'm like, what in the world? These people going around saying that he is this person that these all these like what women and his ex-employees saying that they was afraid of him. They said they was afraid of him. And I asked the guy the question. I said, listen, I said, if he was a Suge Knight, right? I said, and they told the prosecutors that he had harmful things on him. It was harmful things. Are y'all having sex with two men having sex together, or the woman humping on an animal? I mean, what? That's harmful. I said, but they wasn't afraid to steal his money. They wasn't afraid to do backyard deals. They wasn't afraid to do any of that. I'm trying to see what's going on. Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Mm, Oh, what I do? Where am I? Okay. I'm like, where am I? Number from the camp. Okay, so I'm breaking all this stuff down like as much as I can think about, like just trying to put it together for him. Do I think he has a good chance? We don't know all the discovery. Um, she's a good attorney, and I don't think she's gonna take on something that she feel that she can't handle. And I'm talking about Bunjing. But the New York case was more winnable and favorable for Robert than the Chicago case. But I'm not claiming that the power's in the tongue. I say he's gonna be acquitted, okay? Because the power's in the tongue. I want to speak that positivity. I don't want to think anything. So I spoke to him. I said, so you think Robert Sylvester Kelly was a Suge Knight? I said they said he had like recordings and letters of them and it's gonna intimidate them and embarrass them. But I said what make a person act a fool is their money. When you stealing their money and their belongings, like Suge Knight, somebody gonna get the beat down. I said, so have you heard of any reporting of anybody with a broken nose, broken arm? Mm, It wasn't a case drop. I'm not sure, Monet. I have to look into that. Like I just have so much going on. Like I said, I'm here at the doctor's right now, and I'm gonna have to go in here in a minute. I just what I do I'm trying to think and like put stuff together and try to make sense of it. I just don't want to waste any more time. And and people is talking, asking me about Dawn Russell, why they still, I'm like, let them just keep going at Dawn Russell because I guess that's all they want to do. Because when you keep pushing that Dawn Russell, only thing y'all doing is trying to create a Rico for Robert. That's kind of stuff you should just leave it alone. You trying to create, and the prosecutors, just like I told y'all about those text messages. I have the text messages. I know the discussion between, Robert and Don. And no, and just the same way they had those text with messages, like I told y'all, I said it's more to this story with Azriel, why we can't see what the mama talking about. Why they ain't why the prosecutors didn't post what Robert and Don was talking about. Because they know that it wasn't nothing sinister going on there with Robert and Don. And I talk about this all the time. And I ain't trying to persuade nobody because I don't care about other people's opinion. But I will focus on what needs to be focused on. I hear more about Don than I hear about Durham McDavis. Isn't Durham McDavis gonna be sitting there with Robert? You got two other people sitting with Robert. Don Russell wasn't one of them. Wasn't sitting with Robert, and they are like Don Russell formed and made this indictment on Robert. No, he didn't. Um, Azriel was there, and those women was there way before Don was there. Um, what's the damn girl name? Um, Geronda Pace and Bubba. Dominique was there way before Don Russell. Haley Calhoun was there way before Don Russell. They are inside of the indictment. They got up on that witness stand and testified to try to put Robert down in prison for life. It wasn't Don Russell. And I just don't understand why the focus and the energy is on Don Russell. Because the only thing y'all saying, oh, He did do it. He did it. So basically, the world thinks Robert ordered this. So what y'all doing is encouraging them to say, okay, Robert had that man to do this, and Robert had that man to do that, because this is exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna blame Robert for everything everybody else is doing. I have about 5 more minutes, but I did talk to him. I showed him everything, and I persuaded him. Like I didn't have to persuade him. I just showed it to him, and I let him put his thoughts together. And he said, "Man," he said, "I didn't know all this." I said, "Nobody else." I said, "Because the mainstream media ain't gonna talk about it. They ain't gonna talk about it." I actually sent some information, like those clips that I had. I sent them to some mainstream media. I'm gonna see if they're gonna talk about it. I bet you they don't. I said, y'all putting all the negative on Robert. I said, let's talk about these mamas and these lying ass women with the fake IDs. I said, y'all saying that he's a predator. Y'all claim he's a predator. Predators go out and prowl. They go out and prowl for their prey. Who's prowling? Geronda was prowling, and Robert is the prey. Okay? And if these people going around saying he is a predator, nobody's gonna have to lie about their ages, because a predator, and y'all saying he like babies, I'm a baby. You want me? Here I am. I ain't gonna tell nobody I'm a baby. You ain't gonna have no fake IDs. You ain't gonna have your mama lie about your age. And I showed him the statement with Azriel and the motion from Bonjean about the police coming to the hotel. I said, now what you think about this? I let him read it himself. I was like, I don't want you to think I'm making up anything. I said, so I'm in the room with you. I already done told you I'm 18. My mama was doing grown up talk. She probably was talking more, intelligent, talking as a grown woman to him. You know, okay. She on her grown woman stuff. And I'm not talking to you about music like that. I'm telling you I do music, but I'm trying to talk to you about something else, sex. I'm trying to get you hot and bothered. I'm enticing you. Okay, I'm in the area, so before I go to on my, you know, to my other show, I can, chill with your son, you know. So we in the room together, and I asked him. I said, so we in the room together, and the police knock on the door, and you find it kind of strange because you already got allegations on you, and people are already looking at you in a wrong way, and you look at me and be like, "Are you 18?" And I tell you, "Yeah, I'm 18." I'm gonna ask you again, "Are you 18?" "Yes, I am." Okay, go in there, put on your clothes, cause there's some police at the door. I need to open the door, so I need you in some clothes. You open the door, mom and daddy looking for you. And you'll look at me like, what the hell mom and daddy looking for? Well, they worried about you, so um they sent us here, but they claimed that they didn't know where she was in what room. And I told y'all, I said something ain't adding up about that. I said, so how the hell they found her at that hotel? He had goons, and then he said he found them by the tour bus, a big tour bus at the hotel. Azriel said he was in a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. So, like I said, there's lies all over the place. So I'm breaking it down to him. I said, so the officers asked me for my ID. I show them my ID. They asked me, Azriel said, I told them I was 18. They asked me for my ID. I showed them my ID. And it was like, okay, cool. They said something to Robert, and they left out. If anything was wrong, he would have left out in handcuffs. Okay. So, that hotel room status remind me of Taylor's situation. Lewis Taylor. Yep. So I'm thinking here. So I asked him, I said, so if the officers verify what I told you, you gonna be like, okay, cool, she legal age, so hell, whatever. Right? And you're gonna go about your business. And so a lot of people got it mixed up with when she told Robert that she was 17. She told him this at Trump Towers, and I just say allegedly now, this is some people witnessed this. She told him this at Trump Towers. Joy was there and two other people was there. And she said she had something to tell him and he's not gonna like it. And he said, I'm not gonna like it if you don't tell me. So you had two females to say that he slapped them when they told him their actual age. So if he liked predators, why would he get pissed off because you lied about your age? He would have been excited. He wouldn't have slapped the shit out of you or try to choke you to the ground. Like, you trying to get me set up. And so I feel like this, and this is my opinion. I believe she used that to her advantage to set Robert, to blackmail Robert. No, you're going to do what I asked you to do. You're going to make me number one. I'm going to police. But from what I was told, when she told him this, he said, well, let me talk to my attorney about this. Let us handle this, talk to the attorney. So he sent her home. Why did she come back? Did the feds talk to her? And did the feds get involved with one of the attorneys and everything is good now? I'm legal age. I can come back, and he let her back because he felt some kind of way about her. He had feelings for her. He had feelings for a person that he thought was legal age. So I'm talking to the man like, how I'm talking to you guys. And he was just like, oh, he was like, shh. He said the S word. He said, this is some effed up mess, man. It's like they done forgave the man about Aaliyah in 2008. He said they gonna try to lock this man up under the pen behind some setup. He said that's all a setup. And he said, why would they bring Geronda Pace in? So I started telling him about Faith Rogers. I showed him some stuff about her. I said she grown. I said so. She said in her on the witness stand that she was intimidated and she was this, she was that, and I told him about her situation with her ex and all that. I broke it down to him. But anywho, y'all, I'm about to run late. But I wanted to say this to Timothy Savage. You were talking about Joy's living condition. That's Joy's grown ass freaking fault. It just showed that Joy is nasty then. Because Robert was in jail for wasn't a year. He was in holding a year. So she couldn't clean up behind herself. She needed a maid to clean up that little ass damn space at the Trump Tower. Time I wanted to see her living condition. And when the feds ramshacked the place, and matter of fact, I think somebody else ramshacked the place other than the feds. I think they went in there and ramshacked that man's residence to see what they can find money wise. Just like their storage. When Azriel said he would keep money in pockets inside of clothes. So you went into that storage, searching everything in that storage, and probably planting stuff in the storage and planting stuff in the Trump Tower. But Joy couldn't come and she couldn't clean up behind herself a year in the house looking like that. Nowhere in the damn hell. So you're not gonna blame Robert for Joy living conditions because she was grown. She is grown. She was grown then and she's grown now. And if hell they can't clean up their mess, that's their business. That's not his problem. Cause I was irritated when I came home. When I leave and go somewhere, I clean that house up to the T. Cause when I come back, I want it to be clean. I want to come back to a clean house. And when I came home, one of my little the stick things was on the floor. And so I'm looking at, my boyfriend and I'm pointing at it and I'm like irritated about it. I'm like, you could have picked it up. Okay, you could have washed that pan that's in that thing. You could have washed it. And he already know I can't stand it. He know I can't stand it. So he wouldn't pick talking about, well, you had it right there and I just accidentally knocked it over. And so I'm like just looking, I'm like, I ain't picking it up. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna wash that dish in this sink. I was just pissed off. I couldn't take it no more, y'all. I just had to get the broom and get it up. So damn, Robert wasn't there for a year, Timothy. Stop. How long you gonna blame Robert? Talking about, and the first thing you go in there, you see a McDonald's. And then he was talking about Shabazz. So y'all, he was trying to call out Shabazz, saying Shabazz. He said you were hungry for some damn footage for them. You was trying to feed them. I guess they said to a man's heart is their stomach. So y'all gotta go because I have to be am late dealing with y'all. Y'all be good. I'll try to come back and talk to y'all. But Timothy, your damn daughter grown as hell. Clean up your own shit. Somebody wasn't teaching her then. Somebody wasn't teaching her ass to be clean. Cause that's not Robert's fault. Cause when I was looking at the footage from Shabazz, that when they was cutting the father, they caked the house was clean. Okay. After Robert went to jail and she was just trying to have some cockroaches trying to put on Joy, the house was nasty. So that showed they was some nasty ass damn girls, women. So Robert wasn't to blame for that. Hell, Robert's damn God sister had to come and clean up behind them girls and wash some clothes and stuff. Cause they were too lazy to do that. Fold them up for them. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it. But y'all be blessed. I'll talk to y'all later. Got to go. Okay, I'm trying to end it. It's not ending, y'all. What is going on?